Dear subscribers, welcome to another episode of Investor Lifestyle Jamaica. Today we have a special guest. He goes by the name of Dr. Daniel Thomas. Today we'll be speaking on how one can boost their immune system in today's pandemic. Dr. Thomas, welcome.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes. Doc, could you speak a little about yourself?
Okay, well, as Michael said, I'm Dr. Daniel Thomas. I am a doctor by profession, but right now I'm currently working in nutrition and human metabolism at the University of the West Indies. I do research studies there. So I've been working in research and nutrition for about 2 to 3 years now at the university.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we'll start by nutrition. How can you use nutrition to boost your immune system?
Okay, so, well, it's always interesting when people talk about nutrition and immunity, and especially in this time with COVID, we all want to know of different techniques and ideas of how we can make our body stronger, because it is true in fact that nutrition is actually the cornerstone of improved immunity. I mean, it's a cornerstone of many health benefits, including immunity. So certain key factors or certain principles hold true for nutrition, in terms of how I would advise anyone, first of all, to have a balanced diet.
Okay.
So in terms of one of the ground rules I always tell people is they need to have an adequate supply of plant-based nutrition in their diet. So there is a rule of sometimes, 80-20 is ideal in terms of 80% plant-based in your diet and then 20% animal protein. But even so, when we talk about our dinner plates, we want 50% of your plate to be green leafy vegetables. So green leafy vegetables, things like carrots or tomatoes or cucumbers or lettuces are about 50% of your dinner plate. And then we look at healthy starches or roots such as sweet potatoes or yams or good ground provision that we have in Jamaica. Fortunately, we have a lot of healthy options out there. And then for protein, we look at healthy protein sources that can either be animal protein or they can be plant protein, such as our beans or legumes or peas. These are all the staples of a healthy diet. And then on top of that, there are certain things that you can also include into your diet which also improve your immune system. Things like turmeric or curcumin that a lot of people may talk about. It's actually a known anti-inflammatory plant, an herb. Things like ginger, things like garlic, things like onions. A lot of our herbs actually boost your immune system and make your body more resilient to fight off infection in times of disease.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, Doc. Could you speak on exercise and how important is it to one's lifestyle?
Okay. So exercise is important for 2 reasons. One, it's important for your cardiovascular health, and it's important for muscle fitness or muscle integrity, and many other benefits. Brain function, digestive system. Exercise is so important that we sometimes don't understand how much of an impact it has on our body in terms of things like even something that we call insulin resistance, which is how your body reacts to insulin in your body, which is the same hormone that regulates things like diabetes. Exercise actually is something that helps to balance out certain hormones in your body. And insulin is actually an inflammatory hormone, and we know inflammation is linked to decreased immunity as well.
Okay.
So we actually recommend that people exercise minimum 3 times a week, 3 days a week for 30 minutes to 1 hour each day. A simple way to know it is if you're not sweating or you're not breathing hard, you're probably not exercising hard enough. So we ask people to exercise at least 3 days a week. I know it's pretty difficult in these times, especially in the modern era, but if you can get 30 minutes in your day skipping or brisk walking, I encourage people to do it with friends and family. If you can get a group to get out and exercise, do that. But we talk about muscle integrity and muscle strength. So it's not just about cardiovascular or aerobic exercise. We also want to build your strength with training your muscles. So even ladies, not just the men, we want you to do some form of muscular activity where you do some form of things to strengthen your muscles. So if it's push-ups, if it's burpees, if it's weights with dumbbells, we encourage you to do that at least once or twice a week, so that you also maintain your muscle strength.
Okay.
And these exercise will also help to boost your immune system from the short term into the long run.
Okay.
Yeah.
You touch on walking, because I'm fond of walking. I know a lot of Jamaicans walk, but you say that you have to walk briskly. What do you mean by walking briskly?
Okay, so a lot of people say they walk, and walking doesn't necessarily constitute exercise unless it has a physical effect on your body. Walking either way is good for your body, but when you find that you're sweating or when you're having to breathe harder, there's an increased demand on your musculature and your cardiovascular system, which has additional benefits or greater benefit than just slow paced walking without much exertion on the body.
And doing stairs, if you're doing the
stairs is also very good, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Alright, get you.
Yeah.
Yes, Daniel, could you speak on reducing stress and putting sleep? How important is that at this time?
Okay. So stress has a deleterious or negative effect on the body. It causes certain hormones such as cortisol in our blood to be elevated. And we know that cortisol is also linked to decreased immunity. So high cortisol levels cause your body to be less resistant to fighting off infection, and even things that wouldn't trouble regular people may cause you to become sick when you have high stress levels.
Okay.
So we tell people to find ways to minimize or mitigate stress in their daily routines. If it's finding times to be calm, to take a break, or if you're part of a faith-based group, prayer, I always recommend to people, or just quiet time, if that is something that you do, or reading a book, or going for a walk, or listening to music. These are all ways you can find to cause stress relief in your day-to-day routine.
Yes.
And on the benefits of sleep, it is recommended that you have minimum 6 to 8 hours of sleep each day.
Okay.
Some people say more, some people say less, may be adequate, but the majority of experts in the field recommend 6 to 8 hours of sleep each day. And we see that when you have adequate amount of sleep, you put your body in a space where it is at a advantage or at a better position to fight off infection, to fight off disease. Also, we know that other things happen when you have too little or too much sleep, such as when you have too little sleep, you're more prone to gain weight.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're also, other things, brain fog, a lot of mental issues may result from chronic sleep deprivation. And with adequate sleep, again, your body, certain hormones and certain chemicals are released in your body during sleep, and adequate sleep allows your body to regenerate,
yes.
To replace dead cells, to replace help certain tissues to repair and to restore and reorganize. So we know that having adequate amount of sleep each night helps your body to become stronger, to improve its defense for the next day. I also know that when you have lower amounts of sleep each day, the cells in your body that actually fight infection, your B cells and your T cells, are actually at a reduced fighting strength, if you want to call it that, in the successive days. So again, lack of sleep can also make your body more prone to disease and infection.
Okay.
So they all work hand in hand. So adequate nutrition, adequate exercise, and reducing stress and sleep are 4 pillars of improving not only health but also your immunity.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent. All right, Doc. Just to touch, because I know average Jamaicans are persons in the Caribbean, and persons may not have the budget and say they can't eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really a bonus, and that they have to eat anything that's available. Could you, I don't know if you could break down to persons like some ordinary meal that they could eat that are basically inexpensive to regular Jamaicans, because regular Jamaicans can exercise and they can get the sleep, but in the nutrition part, could you, comprise a meal package for person?
Okay, so a lot of people actually do not realize that eating healthy with our Jamaican food that are available is sometimes actually more affordable than eating junk food. And also one of the keys to saving is cooking at home. So if you can find the time to prepare a meal, so things like lettuce, things like tomatoes, things like cucumbers, things like pak choy, callaloo, sweet potato, yam. These are things that are readily available in the Jamaican market, and they're also good for our health. Things like peas, red beans, gungo peas, these are all things that are healthy options for our diet, and they're actually not expensive when you compare people going out and buying KFC. One KFC meal can buy enough to feed a family of 4 or 5 when you look at it in a practical way. So it takes, initially I think it's more about mindset, yeah, and discipline. It's a discipline thing to actually realize that I can afford to buy these things, but I will actually have to also prepare them for myself. But your body will benefit, your pocket will benefit. Yeah, that's true. In the long run. You just have to figure out how you're going to make that time. And I tell people to prepare meals in. So if you prepare meals for 2 to 3 days, you can cook a pot that will last you for 3 days, and then so you cook twice a week, basically. Okay. And rice is not a bad thing, but it's about having too much rice on the plate. So we're looking at other things like our sweet potato. Irish is also not a bad thing, but it's just having too much Irish on the plate. Yeah. So as I said before, if you look at our greens being 50% of your plate, and then your healthy starches being a quarter of that, and the proteins being a quarter of that, and you let it all fit in, you decide how to divide it up to fit on the plate, then I think people can be ingenious enough to figure out cost-effective ways to eat on a budget. So I mean, you are in agricultural field, so you can agree with me that things like the local vegetables
and peas.
If you go to markets, a lot of Dominicans don't go to market anymore. But if you can shop at the markets, you usually get things for 3 times cheaper than the supermarket.
Yes.
But that also takes time. So it's about figuring out how you can best adapt to the economy and to reduce the cost of your budget. But I guarantee you, fast food is more expensive than some of the good things that we have here in Jamaica that you can get to bring into the household.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Doc, for taking this time to speak with us and our viewers. Viewers, hit the like button, send this to 1,000 likes and more. Thank you for being with us and watching our program. Doc, our health is our wealth. Amen. So we'll try to educate persons in different areas how you can improve your lifestyle. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, respect. Yeah, man.